Looking at Cologne and its history, it all started in 2014, and the first team I went with was Copenhagen Wolves. I remember that it wasn't the big LAN 6 arena we know by now, but it was a small arena with crowd, and we lost to Navi, I think, and without a tournament right before playoffs, if I remember correctly. So yeah, it all started there, and then obviously next year we started getting the big arenas, and it became like a dream to win Cologne. 2015 was a big step in CSGO history. We're coming into some of the big tournaments like Cathedral, Cologne, and big arenas, and from there on they just kept coming every single year, right? So I think that's where we realized how big this is gonna be. And I remember myself going into the arena in LAN 6, boxing, and feeling like a boxing match, and it's just an awesome feeling to play in front of 10,000 people in an arena in Germany, right? It was just like this was the first time where I realized this is actually what we've been fighting for so many years, and this is just the first step, and it's gonna be many more events to come. I think everybody who played the first Cologne in 2015 with big arena just knew that every single time and every single year it comes, we just want to win that tournament, because it became a really important step in CSGO history that we actually could fill up arenas with 10,000 people. 2016, it was like the first Cologne major, and I remember coming into the tournament, we had obviously changed the player. Karrigan couldn't play, so we took Leif as a stand-in, and I think we just managed barely to go through the groups, and so it was against another Danish team, a rivalry. We just took Karrigan from that team who couldn't play with us, and then he didn't play with Dignitas. By winning 16-14 and qualifying to get top 8, and like I said, it's like directly invited for the next major. It was so big to make. We had the sticker capsules, we had everything. It was very new at that point, right? That was a really important moment for us, because it's like when you go through a lot of stuff during a tournament, losing a player, playing with a stand-in, you're just trying to do your best. And I think it was just like happiness at that moment that we managed to do it. And obviously we lost to Pre during that tournament. He was hospitalized. So yeah, we had to play the Virtus Plow in the quarterfinal with Sonic, our coach back then. So tough times, but we almost beat the VP or two very close maps in overtime and stuff like that. So yeah, we did the best we could back then, and I'm just proud of that we managed to go through with the circumstance we had. I think that was a big step in my career after the Astralis time ended and my time in Astralis was over. I went obviously to FaZe Clan. I've set out for myself to win a major with an international team, knowing it would be a long road, but it was like an exciting project. I love what FaZe was doing, and they were just coming into CSGO at that point. I had some of the stuff I wanted, I couldn't get in Astralis, so it just felt like a match in heaven. And obviously coming into Cologne, I think we made the semifinals and lost to SK or something like that. The style of the matchup was very different than what we had tried. They played a very new style of CS, very slow and playing the percentage. And I think at that point, we couldn't find a solution. And I think we tried 4 different maps, 4 different picks, but it always kind of ended the same. I think that was a mix of everything. I think the style we had to play against them was tough, and also like in the end it was a mental thing. At some point I was like 17 map loss against SK and only 4 map wins. So it was a really tough one. I think to this day it was the toughest matchup in my whole career to find a solution, because every time we played them it was tough to try to reinvent ourselves and try to think what we could do different, right? But I also learned from that not to overthink it, because sometimes you have to just believe your style will at some point overwin the enemies. Yeah, so in 2018 was obviously ups and downs for our team. Starting the year with losing the Boston major final. coming into Katowice, losing the final in Katowice, right? But somewhere along the line, we lost Olof to some circumstances, and we had to play with stand-in, and suddenly we were on the run for the Grand Slam. We win 2 events with Kroman and Exist, and that meant coming into Cologne 2018, we had a chance to win the Grand Slam. It was a very turbulent time for the team. We didn't practice much. We didn't know when Olof would come back, but that was the feeling about that team. Once we hit the stages and the arenas, you knew that people will play really, really good, because it is players like Nico and Guardian, and once they hit the arena days, they're just different beasts.
Good flashbang. Could get a couple more out of this one. And Fnatic are starting to crumble. What's going on?
That's one of those times where you realize don't be too happy before you actually play the game, because I think that was the feeling of the team. We're actually going to play big in the semi-final, and if we win that, we are 1 game away from winning the first Grand Slam ever, right? We end up losing to big, right? And they play a fantastic tournament. But yeah, that's one of the times where you wish you would have a different thinking and maybe respect the enemies you play in a semi-final. But yeah, lesson learned for sure. I always felt like, and always said, like, Cologne is a tournament where everybody has fans. They all cheer for great CS. But obviously, we have never tried to have a German team in the playoffs. Playing big in that Cologne arena was something very special. It was like, normally it's 50-50 crowd on both sides, but here was like 90% German fans suddenly, right? And I think it was a cool experience and a live experience for the big players. They played great and they won against them, made the final, right? I think my career has been 3 trophies I always wanted to hunt. That has been the Katowice, the Cologne, and the major. So that would mean there's 4 big trophies, prestige events, where you know everyone is giving their 200% to win that tournament. Everybody's boot camping, everybody's preparing new stuff, and make sure there's at least 2 weeks before Cologne that you have time to prep. I come into this year winning Katowice, that was like a big prestige under the circumstances. After that, winning the major, and then I sat down with myself after the major, like, if we can win Cologne, we're the first team ever to win Katowice, Cologne, and a major in the same year. I would say that's an error, because that's the 3 biggest tournaments of the year. Right now we're aiming really hard to win that Cologne, and hopefully in some way we're gonna have some stupid losses before, so we don't feel like a machine or inhuman at the Cologne, because I think we need to be able to hit a good balance between an overconfidence and respect of the enemies. Having a target on the back, it is what it is. We have to be able to withstand that as best as possible. People work really hard, and we have to work even harder now when we're on the top. Not everyone can stay there for a long time.